Yeah. My name is Ogechi Madukoma. You're welcome to my channel today. I love it. Whenever I'm coming to your faces, I'm always very excited because I know I'll be teaching out value. Okay, so last week we started in the last video we started I started a series on methods of soap production. So I told you then that we'll produce soap basically using three methods. And okay, so for those that are meeting me for the first time, my name is Ogechi Madukoma. I'm the NDC of Glomajos Enterprises. At Glomajos, we produce very effective and also very affordable NAFDAC approved household cleaning products. What we do at the Glomajos is I'll basically help you keep your homes clean without you having to break the bank. You are keeping your homes clean within your budget. So, and we also have our training arm where we'll train you and we equip you with those skills that you need to start your business and scale that business very fast. It could be any business in the manufacturing space here. We are here to help you. So let's go back to our training for today. So we started a series that talked about methods of producing soap from the scratch. And in the last video, I told you that you can produce soap using three methods. Do you still remember the three methods? I said we can produce soap using the cold method, we can produce soap using the semi-hot method, and we can also produce soap using the hot method. So we are going to be looking at the cold method today. Producing soap using the cold method, the advantages and the disadvantages. Okay, like I said in my last video, when you are producing soap using the cold method, what you do is when you've made your lye solution, like I said, you make your lye solution by pouring your lye into water in the right proportion. And you allow it to cool down. You allow it to come down to room temperature, because if you pour lye into water, it fumes. It's very hot. In fact, you see the smoke coming out. So and that's why I always advise you wear your gloves, wear your eye goggle, ensure you're putting in place your safety measures. So once that is done, you keep it aside and allow it to come down to room temperature. You can use your thermometer to measure and see when it has come back to room temperature. Then you can start your production. Okay, what are the advantages of processing soap using your cold method? Number one advantage is that it is very easy to produce. It is very easy. It is the easiest method that you can think of. It is not complicated at all like other methods. One, and it is also cheap. I'm not talking about cheap when it comes to being commercially viable. I'm talking about when you want to produce in very small quantity. As a beginner, you can try that out using the cold method. It is the first advantage I said is that it is very easy to produce. As a beginner, it is easy, it is beginner friendly. The second is that talking about the amount of ingredient that can be used to try out as a beginner, it is also very cheap. You can start with as little as any amount that you think of. And the third advantage is that it is safer, unlike in the other method, like in the same method where you'll be making use of the caustic soda and its very well crystal form, that it is still very hot. In this case, you have brought down your caustic soda, it has come down to room temperature. Even though it is also still corrosive, but at least it is not as dangerous as when it is still very hot and fuming. So it is for a beginner, it is safer. And the fourth advantage is that it solidifies very fast, even though it takes longer days to cure. But you can produce that soap now in the next 3-4 hours. It has solidified, it has hardened up. You can unmold it, but you leave it for some weeks. I leave my soap for like 5 days to cure. Some will tell you that you can leave it for as much as 4 weeks, for 6 weeks to cure. But I can use my soap after 5 days when I produce it using the cold method. So I've given you 4 advantages. One, it is beginner friendly. One advantage is that using the cold method, it is beginner friendly. As a beginner, you can learn how to produce it without stress and produce it. You can try it out. Number two, I said it is, when it comes to cost, it is cheap. It is cheap to produce as a beginner. It is cheap. It is cheap. Number three, I said as a beginner also, it is, when it comes to hazard, the hazard associated with it is not as high as that of the semi-hot method, where you'll be using your caustic soda in the very raw form. And lastly, I said it solidifies very fast. You can produce your soap now. In the next 3-4 hours, you will mold it and you allow it to cure. You mold it and you allow it to cure. And the last but not the least is that you don't need any form of heat at all. You don't need any form of heat, because in the hot method you'll be needing a source of heat to help cement the soap. But in this instance, you are not using any form of heat. Remember that if you're producing for commercial purpose, once you introduce any form of heat, it is also increasing your cost. Note that anything you introduce into that soap increases your cost. But in this case, there is no form of heat at all. So even the hazard that comes with fire is excluded. So that is also an advantage. There is no form of heat at all. So you produce your soap, you can start and finish your soap within 30 minutes. You're done. If you know what you're doing with the right recipe, with the right formulation before you, within the next it's just for you to add. Once you have them in the wrapper, just add and stir and allow it to saponify and then solidify and then cure, and that is your soap. So that is the advantages of producing soap, bar soap, using the cold method. Like I said in my last video, I have a mini video course that will teach you how to produce soap using the cold method. You can get it using the link in the description. If you have any question after going through the video, you can ask me the questions. You can send me a WhatsApp message or even leave it underneath this video in the comment section. If you have not subscribed to this video, please hit the subscribe button now to subscribe, and also hit the notification bell so that you're notified each time I upload a new video, as I do that every single week. I upload a new video every single week. You can also check out other videos in my channel, as I have many training videos on how to produce various household cleaning products that will be very valuable to you. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.